I do apologize for the delay. Right as we were about to go on, we were having some technical difficulties, so I'm so sorry. I wanted to first introduce myself. I'm Stephanie Van Vark, and I am a small business owner. I've been having some conversations with my friends who are also small business owners about how things are going in their world right now during this pandemic, and have had some interesting feedback, and many of them having the same challenges, if not more so than I am. And so I decided that just in having those conversations, and then a tweet from this next young woman that we're going to be talking to, I decided it would be a really good idea for us to kind of open up those conversations to other people who may be having the same challenges. It's been said small businesses work in a silo, so we're going to try to open up that silo and help one another by providing whatever information we can to support. So without further ado, because I know she's got to go to work in a little bit, I'm going to bring on one of my fan favorites, Nicole Gates. I think many of you may know her from Lil Greenhouse Grill. Say hello, Nicole.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. I know you've got to go to work in less than an hour, I believe.
You know what? It's super cool. It's all right. I'm just glad we were able to get on.
Good. So thank you. Let's start by asking who you are, what you do, and why you are on with us today.
Well, first of all, I think you are fantastic.
Thank
and I
you.
think what you're doing with Going Overtown is amazing. My name is Nicole Gates. I'm the managing partner and creative lead of Lil Greenhouse Grill, along with my partner in all things fantastic, Chef Kareem Bryant. And we operate out of the historic community of Overtown.
Yay. You know, that's my favorite place. So tell me, what's been going on with you? How are things holding up for you in this new place and space we are in right now?
You know what? I mean, I wish that, it could be all sugary sweet and, everything is kumbaya and we're going to, get through this together. Of course we are. Of course we're going to be fine. Of course, after this is over, as humans, as believers, as faith livers, we will succeed, and we'll find a way to live this new normal. However, right now, it feels like somebody literally took the rug and pulled it right from up under me. And I got a little tush on me, honey, but this thing did not.
So for that to happen,
I mean, I got some scrapes and bruises down here, and and I had to have some really serious conversations with God, because and God was like, this is not happening just to you. There's about 7 billion people, that's going through this. I'm like, but me.
But speaking of that, you've had some challenges. Like, I've watched you go through some ebbs and some flows in this thing called business since you've been here with Lil Greenhouse Grill, and I'll let you chime in on that a little bit later. I mean, as you wish, but is this the worst thing you've had to go through as a business owner?
Yes.
And why?
Because I had to eliminate jobs. In any other situation, I did not have to eliminate jobs.
Okay.
With this, in order for us to be able to even survive this next 30 days, I had to cut jobs. Mm-hmm. And not only cut jobs, but Kareem and I had to become, which if you've been in the restaurant, we're already employees. We're always here. But
we had to small business owners.
Right. So we had to become more, he's in the kitchen by himself. He's doing the ordering, the cooking, the stocking. I'm the server, the takeout person, the curbside delivery. I had to do an Uber order yesterday, because our Uber tablet went down. I'm like, my only source of income, the Uber tablet decides to go down. Really?
I gotta deliver.
And then look, Stephanie. And then I'm sitting there like, okay, God, you trying to tell me we're supposed to close up and take the day off and go have a mental break. Okay, Kareem, let's go to the beach. Oh shoot, can't
No,
go to the beach.
you can't go to the beach.
Okay, all right. Let's go. Let's go to the movies.
No,
Oh shoot, can't go
you
to the
can't
movies.
do that.
Wait a minute. Okay, who having happy hour? Well, shoot, nobody having
You
happy hour.
can go
Dang it.
home. You can go
You know,
home. That's the best you can do. But I mean,
so the one time we do have some free time, nobody has free time.
right. In your home, yes, you can conjure up a happy hour from Zoom. That's the best you got. That's the best you got. And by the way, I've had friends that are calling me like, okay, when we're doing happy hour on Zoom.
I'm tired. I'm so sorry. I'm tired of drinking with y'all on camera. It is
Right?
not the same.
I'm going to
It
bed.
is
I'm
not
going to
the same.
bed.
I'm telling you, it still feels like I'm drinking alone in a closet. I'm sorry. I just
So but that does conjure some emotions. I mean, you know, as a small business owner, you go through a wealth of emotions, terror, everything from terror to being elated about some excellent thing, which I want to kind of tout you a little bit about. One of the things that has been so successful with Nicole, or one of the things that's been so exciting for Nicole, is Oprah Winfrey.
really like, how do you go from Oprah to Corona?
Winfrey.
It's like,
That's so unfair. That's so unfair. You
but
had
again,
Oprah Winfrey in your restaurant, and
but again, God was like, this is not about you. This is
you're
not
on a
about
big screen in her tour, and now you're doing your own work. Isn't that strange? That's the universe for you. It'll always keep you humble. Always keep you humble.
you know what, and you know, everything happens, you know, in order, even when it's out of order.
Right.
You know, if you are a believer, if you understand faith, you know that even when things are in chaos, that there is some order in
Right.
there somewhere.
Right. Somewhere you
And
got to
it's all
find
in
where that
the
is. Now, let me ask you. So I know you and I have probably been in several workshops where they've sort of briefly glossed over emergency plans that every small business should have. Did you have anything like that in place? Was there any guidance as to have that in place? And what are some of your thoughts around that as well?
at a very minimum, have 30 days worth of bill money available at a at the minimum. I
Is that what
mean,
was advised, or that's just what you came up with?
you know what? It's well, no. The advice is, of course, have as much money set aside as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality of it,
Mm-hmm.
much like personal lives, sometimes you don't have that cushion. You know,
Right.
especially coming off of the year that we came off of, spending, you know, almost a year in court battling for the right to even exist
Right.
and legally live out our lease. That we spent a lot of money doing that. And so we were just starting to gain some momentum. We
Mm-hmm.
were just starting to entertain moves to a bigger facility, and
Oh,
so
nice.
many people were coming
Nice.
at it. I mean, the momentum was nuts. It was
Nice.
nuts, and not only locally but nationally. You know, the
Right. Right.
attention that
Right.
we were starting to gain momentum on, and you know, and then all of a sudden, I will never forget. It was Super Bowl, and we were so busy, and we really did not do a lot of advertising, you know, for the big game, you know,
Mm-hmm.
come here and that. But just by default, we got so much
Oh,
business, and I
nice.
was thinking, man, we sure, you know, we're doing pretty good for the Super Bowl, you know. And there were, you know, friends of mine who had establishments in other areas that did not get the attendance that they thought they would get.
Okay.
So I was really shocked that the paradigm had kind of shifted, but you know, very grateful that we
Mm-hmm.
had that momentum during such a high profile time. And literally right after the Super Bowl, it was
Right.
like,
Right.
what?
Right. It all went. And I believe we were under the stay-at-home executive order, meaning city of Miami, before many other people were. Maybe that's because our mayor had tested positive, but that started to affect many of the businesses, what they consider
Oh, for sure.
non-essential businesses.
For sure, for sure.
Mhm.
And I'll never forget when the commander herself walked in, and the look on her face was like, because she knew the ramification of an order like this, what it would do to a small, I only
Mm-hmm.
have 8 tables in here.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we have all 4 delivery services, and, we do great takeout. A majority of my business comes from people coming, sitting in our restaurant,
Uh-huh.
vibing, listening to the music, having a conversation with somebody at the other table, seeing somebody come in they haven't seen in a minute. It
Mm-hmm.
was That is the greenhouse effect, and that is part of our brand. In addition to that super duper dream fire sauce,
Right.
um,
I had it, y'all. It's good.
that and what I mean, and if you all knew, a lot of people are like, oh, after 3 years, they really should have a bigger staff and have somebody else in there cooking. And if you all knew the love that Kareem puts into
Mm-hmm.
this restaurant
Mm-hmm.
every single day,
Mm-hmm.
the attention to detail, it's
And it
almost
comes
impossible.
out in the product. It does.
It really, from,
It comes out in the product.
we could make so much more money,
Uh-huh.
honestly, by
Mm-hmm.
doing so many other things differently, and we just refuse. Our needs are being, up until Corona,
Right.
provided.
Exactly.
We were
Exactly.
gaining momentum. The blessings were coming. We were not going to sacrifice quality. We weren't going to sacrifice excellence.
Mm-hmm.
Even to the point that I love giving little wet naps,
Uh-huh.
in the to-go bag so people could wipe their fingers.
Right.
That stuff costs money.
Right.
That's
Right.
not
Right.
cheap.
But it's a testament to. I was on I'm sorry, text feed yesterday, and someone was talking about how they came all the way from Broward to your store
Yeah.
and it was well worth it. Thank you for the recommendation, and that's the kind of feedback I always get. And every time I bring my friends here from the Miramar Broward area, we make a beeline for Lil Greenhouse. So I think some of them started to come without me. I'm a little jealous about that. I mean, I've been talking to them about that, but that's okay. It's getting you some business. It's getting you some business.
I appreciate it. And they always mention you. They always
Good.
mention you.
Good.
And I'm like, that's my homegirl. Me, you, Bill Diggs,
Georgia.
right, Miss Bergs.
Georgia.
We Georgia people.
Right?
Everybody know.
Right? We know how to cook and we know how to treat people. So there's been some conversation I've heard on shows. Some of the concerns are going to be after this, restaurants might suffer because of this physical distancing. People are going to be a little nervous about being close, as close as we have been in many restaurants who rely on that capacity for their revenue.
Right.
What are your thoughts around that? And have you started to think through some plan B options when the doors are open and ready to go again?
Well, I mean, business as usual.
Okay.
When they say we can open the doors, from the moment they say we can open the doors, I mean, for me, honestly, it will be, business as usual. Seating tables and same customer service, and very grateful to have everybody back, because we definitely missed, the ambiance. Y'all should see me in here. I'm doing workouts in the middle of the dining room, and
I see you working with the baby, helping him with his homework. You post that.
Carter's like, "Mommy, is the restaurant my school now?" I'm like, "Yes,
yes, pretty much,
pretty much." Go sit down at your desk.
Exactly.
Table.
I am your teacher. Now, have you tried for any of those loans?
You know what? Yes. So
I knew that because of your tweet. And
yeah.
Could I share it with everyone?
Say it again, my darling.
Can I share that tweet with which is what sparked me to have a conversation with you, if it's okay with you?
Absolutely.
The other day, actually, as I was thinking about doing this, I saw this tweet from Nicole, which I thought was awesome. I hope everybody can see it, and apologize for squinting because I probably should put on my glasses. But it talks about when you are as a businessman, have done everything right, got the team on track, lawyers, accountants, mentors, permits, licenses. Don't play with me. Having filled out apps to wear cross-eyed. That's funny. Only to be told that they are not ready or fully staffed, or it may take 3 weeks before apps are even looked at. Epic fail. And we will be open at 11 a.m. Right, another day. So I was very impressed with that for sure. And I was like, okay, that's my fighter girl right there. I can always rely on you to fight. But what is that application process? How many have you filled out? What has that process been like for you? I know I've been a little confused. So how about you?
So everybody's helpful. Right now, everybody has these lists of resources that's available, and everybody wants to. I mean, my phone rings daily with people, Nicole, have you tried this? Have you done this? Have you done this? And you know what I say to them? Have you gone there? Because if you have gone there, you would know that there is a line item up there that says this application will not be available until such and such date. This will not be available until such and such. Now, does that relieve us of the responsibility of trying and getting in the game? Absolutely not. You continue to try, you continue to push forward. Literally, I say that I am up at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning.
I've heard examples of that.
Just Googling and looking up, oh, I see a grant. I see this, I see that. And pretty much, this is the thing. If once you fill out the SBA loan, which is probably the most detailed because it asks for so much information, create numerous packets of that same information because they're going to ask you for the same stuff. Your 2 years to 3 years tax documents, your personal statements, your P&L, your Schedule C. You're going to need all of these things. Now, if you don't have those to begin with,
you're already out of the race. I agree.
And that is where a lot of businesses, and it's not just Black or brown businesses, it's small businesses. This is where you lose because now you're behind the 8 ball because all of those agencies that you need to put those permits and licenses in, excuse me, guess where they are?
Right. And I will say also, you tapped on something as well. Also have a team. I was told very early on as a small business owner to have a team. So lean on your banker if you have a banker. Lean on your accountant if you have an accountant. They can help you pull those resources together because they've already made you do it. In order to prepare for these loans. And I think that's what's been helpful for me as I've gone through this loan process and just also calling up friends going, what'd you do for this part? But I agree. I think small business owners need to really have their paperwork in order and have a team behind them that can help guide them through a process like this for sure.
And if this situation has done nothing but given us an opportunity to get our stuff together, then, take this opportunity to do just that. Have a minimum of 2 employees that you are paying legally taxes on or 1099. Have them in the system. Get you a reemployment number. So in the event that this was to ever happen again, you are now qualified to even be looked at for some of the higher federal type loans. Because, and that's the problem. A lot of these grants are geared towards paying back payroll. Especially in places like New York, Miami, high density areas where there's a lot of undocumented workers.
Absolutely. You're right. Because I've only seen one loan so far that looks beyond the payroll and anything around the payroll that helps.
Everything else, you better have somebody
things of that
on payroll.
You're right. So, I mean, that's wonderful, except that especially for me, that's not as much of a challenge, but for you, when you've got to buy food and supplies and equipment and things of that nature, literally, it can help me if I bring some people back.
And not only that, we were an operating business. So there are expenses, everybody still needs to get paid. So there are bills that are still going to roll out. So now I've lost literally, and I don't mind sharing this number, in catering from the time COVID was announced up until the end of March. And Stephanie, you know this because you had, I think, 3 events on my queue.
So I can talk to the ones I had set up with you.
I've lost almost $30,000 in catering revenue.
Whoa. That's a
Just
lot of
in,
money for a small business
just in
in one
catering.
month. In 1 month.
Yeah,
Which
because
brings
prom
about
season was
another
coming.
thought. I like
Yeah, prom
that's
season was
when.
coming up. We had weddings that we had in the queue,
Mhm.
bridal showers. So this is you, again. God said, "You are not by yourself."
There are many of us. There are many of us. But
So this is
that's a
money.
lot of money for a small business, which is one of those things that I think I've always been challenged with, even before this came along.
Right.
There needs to be. I know we put a lot of support behind small businesses, but how do we put support behind small businesses being sustainable, especially in circumstances like this? I think now going forward, we are going to have a much more comprehensive conversation around making sure you're prepared to the tune of maybe 6 months worth
Man,
of
cut them
bills.
checks.
Right.
Cut the check. Cut
Right.
the checks.
Yeah,
Point
exactly.
blank. Cut
Exactly.
the checks. If you have businesses in your area, if you and I'm talking to people in power or positions who can make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
If you have businesses that are operating in your area and they
Amen.
are registered properly and they have their
Amen.
business insurance and they are a functioning member of society, when it comes to a situation like this that is completely out of their control,
Right.
especially if they're already operating in an area that is undergoing some type of gentrification. This year alone, due to all of the construction, I've lost 70% of my walk-up traffic because
Right.
they've moved everybody out of here. So
Right.
because of the delays, the people have not moved back in
Right.
that they keep promising.
Right.
So when it comes to situations like this, I don't understand why you can't go to each of these businesses in your community or area and say, we have this emergency fund set up. Here is $10,000, $20,000 to get you over the hump. You've
Uh-oh.
done the right
I think we
thing.
lost you.
You've done the right things. Here's what you can have because it is not your fault.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so if you were to write the rule book going forward for emergency, that would be your plan.
Yeah, if you look, the government does it for the big businesses. It's called a
That's true.
bailout. It's called a bailout. So why not? Why does the small man? Why do we have to continue to do this? And the people who can afford to sustain themselves, they can be bailed out like that. Like it's not a question. Like, let's just cut them a check. It's all right. It's good. But the small guy has to do donation drives, GoFundMe accounts, no, cut them checks. Point blank, get them over the hump.
Look like I'm having a problem. I'm sorry. I'm sure all this is coming up on the call. I'm not frozen on here. Um, So at any rate, I guess we'll wrap up a little early. I'm so sorry. We will try to work on this and get it right. I'm not sure what's going on with the technology. But please join us again tomorrow. Again, this is going to be talking business tomorrow with Yvette Nicole Harris, who is a super PR executive and one of my mentors with Harris Public Relations, 10 o'clock. I will definitely try to set up Nicole again because that was a good conversation. We were really getting into the meat and bones of some stuff that might be very helpful for small businesses. We really appreciate you tuning in. We hope you will tune in again tomorrow. Wait, Nicole is coming in. Wait. We might have her. I was stalling. Let's see if I can get her. Nope. She's coming in, but she's still not showing up. Oh. Sorry. Oh, Nicole, I'm so sad you're not showing up because that was a good conversation.
Can you see me now?
Well, again, thank you so very, very much, Nicole, for joining us. Thank you so very much for those of you who did tune in. We'll be sharing this video through our email Going Over Town that we send out twice a week. And in some cases, other when we're making special announcements. We hope to see you tomorrow. And thank you so much and have a very blessed day. Good day.